My name's David Resnick. I'm Deputy Commissioner with the Department of Design and Construction, and I'm standing in front of the new Family Intake Center. This new building was done for our client, the Department of Homeless Services, to replace an old and outdated facility located on the same site.
Hi, I'm Guy Maxwell from Ennead Architects. I was the project manager on the PATH project. At the outset of the project, when we first sat down with DHS to understand what they do in the building, it became clear to us right away that understanding the client flow, namely how clients move through the building, that would be a key component of the design, and that was something we really had to understand. A typical client would proceed in at the ground floor into the lobby area. There are a number of key things that have to happen, we were told by DHS. First is passing through the security checkpoint. And then from there they proceed to the reception desk and receive their initial screening. From there, a client then moves up to waiting rooms,
Where as they are interviewed and wait for assignment to the various service facilities, they can have food. There's a food service window here. And then they would be directed to other areas of the facility for specific services depending on their needs.
From the waiting rooms, the clients are called by DHS staff, moved back into the large open office area where they're interviewed and counseled by them. One of the things we were trying to accomplish with the building was really to dignify the process, not only for the clients and families that are in the building who are in a very stressful situation, but also for the staff who work here tirelessly carrying out DHS's mission. The 7th floor is an all-staff floor, and not only does it have the staff offices for the senior administration, but there are a number of amenities up there for the staff. Down at the basement, for those clients that are deemed eligible, there's a waiting room into which they proceed and wait for transportation by DHS to shelter elsewhere in the city.
The aesthetic or the look of the building is a byproduct. It is a result of the architects responding to a certain specific set of conditions.
One of the challenges that we had with the facade design was really to take what is essentially a fairly straightforward office building and give it visual interest.
If you look around, you see brick residential towers, you see some more industrial buildings, bridge. If you look at those materials and you look at the sense of scale that they portray, and then you come and you look at the Family Intake Center, the facades very much reflect its surroundings.
One of the best features of the exterior of the building is the prow, which is basically formed by the acute angle at 47 degrees between 151st Street and Walton Avenue, which became a feature aspect of the massing and the facade design. On the interiors, we wanted to use color in not only a bold and graphic way to make it an interesting interior element, but it also reinforces something we were trying to achieve with the wayfinding in the building. Given that clients are unfamiliar with the building, every floor has its own color palette. Among the various sustainable design features, I think worth mentioning is the water conservation and also energy conservation. We of course have low flow fixtures in all the bathrooms, which reduces the amount of water that's going to be used in the building. We used more insulation in the roof and exterior wall. The glazing that we have in the building is high performance glass, so it has a higher thermal rating. It's insulated glass. There are a number of things with the mechanical system. So we use high efficiency motors on all the equipment. We have a condensing boiler, which basically is a very efficient boiler, more so than a typical boiler. But one fairly uncommon thing that we have is actually an 8,000-gallon rainwater cistern in the basement of the building that collects rainwater from the roof.
The rainwater is gathered in the roof drains and piped to the tank. Then it's filtered, disinfected, and it's used as the makeup water for the air conditioning system.
Another one of our strategies for energy conservation was our use of daylighting. We wanted to harvest as much daylight as possible. By using a Solera glass, we're able to diffuse that light and bounce it further in. And we can take advantage of that by how we've designed the lighting system with sensors that detect when the light levels are sufficient with daylight alone. It actually dims down the light, saving energy. With all of the energy conservation measures that we have in the building, this building will use about 23-24% less energy than a typical office building.
Percent for Art is a program run citywide by the Department of Cultural Affairs. The Percent for Art program was put in place in New York City by Mayor Ed Koch, and he made a rule in the city charter that said that 1% of a capital project's budget has to be set aside to commission artwork for new buildings. In many Percent for Art commissions, we are doing an artwork that is for an already culturally attuned audience. In this case, the audience in this building will always have children in it, and they may be anxious and distressed, and they may be here for a long time. We worked with artist Lane Twitchell to commission this work and an entire series of artworks throughout the Path Center. He had normally worked in galleries with cut paper, and in this case, he took that cut paper work that he was doing and he developed a new process in which it was sandwiched and laminated between glass. This was an especially exciting opportunity to commission artwork that might be involving for the children. We felt that we were very successful in this commission because Lane, we felt, achieved that while staying true to his own artwork.